The uninvestigated candy factory of serial killer Dean Corll. Dean Corll, December, August, hipson.wikipedia.org. Wiki Dean Corll. I'm sure most of you have heard about Dean Corll at this point in time, a serial killer in the early s, but according to him started earlier, who killed at least boys before being shot by one of his teenager accomplices. A serial killer who had one of the worst body counts at the time, if not the worst. However, we are not going to focus on his known crimes, but the strongly alleged crimes that were never properly investigated. According to his mother, who worked with him, Dean Corll would often dispose of stale candy by burying it in the ground. I remember a source stating he would pour concrete over it, but I cannot find the source as of now. Mary West, Corll's mother, has said that he was burying stale candy and trash in the backyard of the candy factory in the mid-s, up until on West NDST in the Houston Heights. This could have been Corll's dumping ground if he had started killing in, and had mass graves prepared in advance. The place of the old factory is now a parking lot supermarket, making it difficult to search for bodies there now. And as far as most sources go, the location of the candy factory has never been dug up once. The Houston PD has shown little interest. However, some other locations were seemingly investigated in the last couple of years, but no news has been followed up on or no remains were found. https www.houstonchronicle.com Nushistantik Stone article died at Texas area killer in the stash.php. https www.reddit.com Unresolved Mystery Estimates Bug Diankrolthan known victims the potential a mega thread that is a much better source than my own. Last thing, one thing I have noticed is that varying online sources seem to be inconsistent as to what has been built upon the location of the candy factory. As noted above, some say it's a car park, other sources say townhouses. To provide full context, Brisa Ione Pereira was years old and the daughter of Paula and Daniel. However, Daniel decided not to partake in Brisa's upbringing and only gave her his last name Pereira. Paula used to date a man named Victor Sequeira, the father of Brisa's two older siblings. Since he was already raising them, he decided to also raise Brisa as his own. The three kids would spend most of their time at Sequeira's house, and if they weren't there, they would stay at their grandmother's, Paula's mom. Paula wasn't very involved in the children's upbringing. The story takes place in the city of Buenos Aires, Argentina, on July St. Victor was taking Brisa to her grandmother's house. According to Victor, once they reached a specific corner, he let Brisa walk the remaining meters to the house by herself, as he didn't want to run into Paula. He says he saw the house's door open and Brisa walk in. After seeing that she was safe, he left. On August St., Paula and Victor ran into each other. Paula asked Victor about Brisa's whereabouts, and Victor told her he had taken Brisa to her grandmother's house the month before. This information reached Paula's sister, Paulina, who went to the police to file a missing person report. However, since a month had passed since anyone had last seen the little girl, there wasn't much that could be done. The authorities didn't have much to go on. Their only lead came from a witness who claimed to have once heard Victor say, "I sent her to Brazil and now I don't know how to bring her back." This led police to search his house. They found it in complete disarray and utterly unsafe for children. Brisa's clothes were scattered around the house, destroyed and nearly trashed. Victor defended himself by saying that neighbors had promised to give him new clothes for Brisa, so he decided to throw the old ones away. Due to the terrible condition of the house, he lost custody of Brisa's older siblings. Aside from this, nothing came from the searches. And Victor passed away. The only people who kept looking for Brisa were her grandmother and her aunt Paulina. However, that same year, her grandmother died in an accident while traveling to a city where there had been a possible sighting of Brisa. Heartbroken, Paulina decided to stop searching for her niece and requested that authorities arrest her sister for neglect. Due to Victor's death and the lack of new leads, authorities decided to shelve the case. No one is actively looking for Brisa nowadays. The case will only be investigated if new clues arise. However, since Victor was both the key witness and a possible suspect and is now deceased, there isn't much left to investigate. Links: https www.missingchildren.org.ardatos.php. Action view at psu.missingchildren.org.ardatos.php. Action viewed. Hepsviapays.com.ar Policia Legal Casabersa Pereira Lane Aquay Desaparicio Anissa Spadrestiaron Quentan Me Disputes.com.ar Policia Legal Casabersa Pereira Lane Aquay Desaparicio Anissa Spadrestiaron Quentan Me Disputes. https www.lanation.com.ar Comunidad Brasileña Pereira Estaperdades Deal de Juliadanetsu.lanation.com.ar Comunidad Brasileña Pereira Estaperdades Deal de Juliadanet. John Doe No. November, was the name given to a disabled possibility mental handicapped African American boy found in Jacksonville, Illinois. Because of his deafness, John was placed into the Lincoln Developmental Center, a hospital for the mentally ill. John would spend years there. On the morning of October, a pair of police happened upon an African American teen boy wandering on the streets of Jacksonville, Illinois. Attempts were made to communicate with him, but it was very quickly discovered he was deaf. Upon asking why he wandered around the streets, he wrote down one word: Lewis. Officers strongly believed Lewis was his given name. Seeing as no information could be obtained about John Doe or any relatives contacted, a county judge placed him in the Illinois mental health system, where he legally became John Doe No. His name was later legally changed to John Doe Boyd in years after his discovery. This allowed Boyd to apply for Social Security benefits. After spending his adult years in various mental health institutions, during which he slowly became due to an unmade medical condition. Blind, Boyd was transferred a final time, Smiley Living Center, a senior care facility in Peoria. He died of a stroke on November, at the estimated age of. His tour identity forever remained a secret only he knew. http www.donetwork.org/accessible.html https www.newyorktimes.com/jondoanotakeshisekretathagrave.html https www.myjournalcourier.com This article to Mysterious Dylan Salveden Jacksonville.php https www.newyorktimes.com/jondoanotakeshisekretathagrave.html This is a weekly thread for off-topic discussion. Talk about anything that interests you, what's going on in your world. If you have any suggestions or observations about the sub, let us know in this thread.